I'm Heather Horton, Director of the Wellness Resource Center at Colorado College. And today I'm going to be introducing you to a relaxation technique called Progressive Muscle Relaxation. Before we get to the technique itself, a little word about relaxation strategies. They work best when you practice them, because our brains are these amazing machines that are constantly making associations. And if we can practice a relaxation strategy, we're essentially pairing the simple act of something involved in the relaxation strategy, like a deep breath or releasing a set of muscles, with a state of relaxation. So I really encourage people to, when they choose a relaxation technique, to practice it for a period of time, maybe once a day for at least a week, to see if it works for them and to make that wonderful pairing in your brain between the strategy itself and a state of relaxation. Progressive muscle relaxation is really effective because it targets the skeletal muscle tension that we feel with stress. When we have a stress response, one of the things that happens is essentially like the fight, flight, or freeze response, in that our skeletal muscles are pumped and primed, ready with energy to do something, to respond to a situation. And certainly for many of us in our daily lives, we have stressful situations that are not just a single moment, right, to respond to, but rather are more ongoing. And so many of us find that we're holding tension in our bodies that we're not even really aware of until we feel like, oh gosh, I've got a hot spot or a knot there in my upper back or something like that. So progressive muscle relaxation is really designed to help us learn how our muscles feel when they're tense and how they feel when they're relaxed. And by practicing these tension and release cycles, we can train our muscles, A, to go into a relaxed state of being, and B, to kick in that automatic, it's time to be in a relaxed state of being. And so progressive muscle relaxation really is just that. Going through our whole body. I usually teach it head to toe and encourage people to practice it that way, at least at first, of feeling what our muscles feel like, tense and released. Now, some people may be really attentive to themselves and find that one tension and release cycle for each muscle group will work really well for them. I personally find that I am inattentive, and so if I only do one tension and release cycle, I'm not really paying enough attention. And so I usually do 2 tension and release cycles for each muscle group. You might find that you're fine with 1, or you might find that you need 3 tension and release cycles to really practice this skill. I start it at the top and work my way all the way down to the bottom. And again, what we're going to do is we're just going to choose a group of muscles, because that is easier for us. Most of us can't isolate a single muscle all by itself. But to choose a group of muscles, tighten them, release them, tighten them, release them, then move on to the next muscle group. In our head and face, for most of us, doing sort of the whole shebang all at once probably works best. If you're someone who can wiggle their ears all by themselves, you might be able to pick different groups of muscles within your head and face. It might feel a little bit silly or strange sometimes to do the tension in our faces, but we're going to be doing that together, so all is well. What we're going to do is we're going to tighten up the muscles in our head and face, with a caveat that many of us are muscle clenchers in our jaw, and that's really not good for us to clench our teeth. And so when you tighten the muscles in your head and face, don't actually clamp down tight on your teeth, but when you release those muscles, really feel everything relax. And when we do this for a couple of cycles, I'll tell you a little bit more about that. So let's go ahead and jump in. We're going to tighten our facial and head muscles and then release them and tighten and release. Now for people who do clench their jaws, sometimes it's difficult for them to unclench. And so you really do want to feel your jaw go sort of slack. You want to notice your lips. Many of us hold our lips kind of tensely, and especially for people who might be clenchers, you might find that you also are holding your tongue tightly, oftentimes kind of pressed maybe up against the roof of your mouth or against the back of your front teeth. And so you want to feel your tongue releasing into your mouth. If you are someone who's having a hard time telling, am I releasing my jaw, or am I actually now using other muscles to open it? Sometimes, and I find for myself, that practicing the head and facial tension and release cycles, maybe lying down on your side, is a little bit easier because I can feel then gravity helping my jaw to relax and release. So let's do that head and face one more time together. Tighten and release. And now we're going to move on to our neck and upper back and shoulders. So we're going to draw our shoulders all the way up to our ears, and then we're really going to let them drop. And up and drop. And we really want that strong difference between the tight feel of a muscle and the relaxed feel of a muscle. Allow gravity to help you to do that. You can do the same thing with your neck if you're wanting to release it forward, right? You can use gravity to do that and help you to release those muscles there. You can pull your shoulders up and back and then release them and let your head fall forward and up and back, and release. For my arms and hands, I do them all together. Again, you can decide what muscle groups make most sense for you, but I tend to pull my arms up, make a tight fist, and now I'm going to let them drop onto my thighs. Tighten and let gravity let them go. Great. We can do the same thing with like our pectoral muscles. We could pull across and then release backwards. Across and release backwards. Many of us hold tension in our torsos, so we're going to do like a little crunchy and then release back into your chair. Crunchy, pulling those muscles tight and releasing back into your chair. You could experiment with this and figure out all kinds of different ways of tightening and then releasing muscles. Be careful if you're trying to tighten and release your spine or your back, because you can overarch your back or something like that. I recommend if you feel like you hold a lot of tension in your back or in your lower back, sometimes lying prone, face down on a bed, arching up and then releasing flat onto your bed, arching up and releasing flat on your bed. That keeps you from overarching and hurting your back. Most of us don't hold a ton of tension in our gluteus maximus, but we certainly could tighten and release those muscles, tighten and release them. The same with our thighs, right? We can pull our legs up tight, let gravity pull them. You want to hear that boom as your feet hit the floor. Tighten and release. The same for your front of your lower legs by pulling your feet up and then letting them fall. Up and letting them fall. Pointing your toes so that you get your calf muscles in the game. And releasing, pushing off the floor, and releasing. And many of us actually do hold a lot of tension in our feet. And so tightening, pulling your toes up tight, and releasing them. Tighten and release. For most human beings, head, neck, and shoulders, upper back, that tends to be where most of us hold a lot of tension. But again, I recommend that you practice progressive muscle relaxation at least maybe a week's worth of time from head to toe, because as you do this, you might realize, oh wow, I really am holding a lot of tension in my hands, and I need to learn to release those muscles. Once you've practiced and you've kind of tuned in to where you're holding tension, then in your practice you may focus most of the time on those particular places, like releasing that jaw. Or for me, one of the things that I find is here in my shoulders like this. And when you've practiced progressive muscle relaxation and made that association in your mind between releasing a set of muscles and a state of physiological relaxation, what that offers you is an opportunity as you go through your day. Multiple times you can check in with yourself, do a little bit of an inventory. And one of the things that you'll want to do is to focus in on those places that you do find that you hold tension, and then to release those muscles when you feel that tension. And you might even have heard right there when I release my shoulders a little bit of a change in the sound of my voice, moving from a somewhat, not super tense, but a little bit tense tone of voice to a much more relaxed tone of voice. So practice progressive muscle relaxation. Tune in to this channel. We'll be posting more videos about different strategies for stress management and anxiety management and relaxation. And I hope this was useful to you. Feel free to reach out to me directly or through the Wellness Resource Center. I hope that you are well, and take care.